Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Sunday morning stream. I'm so happy to be back, guys. It's been a minute. It has been a minute, but we are back now that mining is presumably changed here in 4.0. And guys, a lot of changes has happened here. So many things have changed, and I want to go over all the little changes that you can see happening in 4.0, and it's quite a bit. Not quite as groundbreaking as you might think, but a lot of things that are going to interrupt your typical mining extravaganzas that you guys are so used to. So first thing that has changed is, well, let's talk about what hasn't changed actually. So something that has not changed really much at all is hand mining. I will say hand mining is largely the same. The UI is not any different. The minables you can get is not really much different. There is one difference to the sell value, I will say. Janelite is not as valuable in Pyro. It's about 2,000 less per piece, which translates over to about 2 million less per SCU, right? So it's quite a bit of money. So instead of getting like 19,000 per piece, you're kind of getting like 17,000 per piece, which isn't great, but that's fine. Now, when you get to rock mining has had some really, really interesting shakeups, if you will, in its values. So Dolivine is pretty lackluster. I'd say it's fallen in value again. I think about on average right now, you will see Dolivine going for about 119, which is pretty low. That's pretty low. It used to go for, I believe, 140, and now it's going for like 119, 120. That's pretty sad. The next one up is Aphorite. Aphorite is also went down. I think Aphorite sells for a bit more for what Dolivine used to sell for, kind of that 140, 150 range. And surprising front runner in a huge mix-up is Hadanite. Hadanite is pushing a healthy over 400,000 in value. So you're talking, you find one patch, because typically when you're out there mining Hadanite, when you find a good patch, a patch will typically net you about 100 things of it, right? It'll net you, not 100, probably more like almost 200-ish. So about a fifth of an SCU, and a fifth of an SCU now is almost $100,000. That's pretty good, guys. That's pretty good. I am surprised. So rock mining, specifically Hadanite, is very lucrative now. I think that is on par to really set you up nicely as you progress through the mining loop. So typically I wouldn't say starting off with hand mining is an accurate thing to say when you're mining. I think starting off renting your stuff and starting off with a rock is really where you're at. So this really amplifies the profit you can make there. Speaking of rentals by far and large has not changed too much. All the prices are the same. The only thing that has changed though is the mole. The mole can now be rented at all of the refinery rental kiosks. Now, before you go getting excited, it does cost like 220,000 to rent. And that being said, I don't think renting the mole is necessarily the most cost efficient mining thing. I would sooner rent the prospector than I would rent a mole. Because the problem with that is, another side note, these they changed the way this looks a little bit, and I've seen these up to 20,000 now. I have seen huge RS signatures, and it's really nice. I super enjoy that. And Quantanium is everywhere, but we'll get to that. So rental, I wouldn't rent the mole if I were you. I think that's a little too expensive because the lasers it comes stock with suck, and you would have to buy the lasers. And I mean, a Helix is a 100K laser, plus all the little attachments that you need to go with it to truly be effective. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you're better off with a prospector and putting mole bags on it, and making that better than you are trying to do something else. The prospector got a much needed assistance with the changes to how its the bags are. So they removed the exterior bracket from how they sit in there. They also did it to the mole, but the mole, you cannot see it visually, which is fine. But just so you know, like, so the mole bags, you don't have to pull them out of the bottom of the mole. You can just, let's see, what do we got here? No. So you don't have to pull them out of the bottom of the mole. You can just pull them off just like the prospector, which is really weird, I know, but yeah, you just trust me. It's how they have it now. That's really helpful. The prospector, all in all, is pretty much the same though, I would say, outside of those couple of changes. So I'm really happy with that. The mole has had, they said they fixed the mining HUD, but as you can see right now, they have not. I guess I can already scan that one. So since they have not actually fixed it, it's actually kind of annoying. You can work around it, like I'm doing right now. So you turn in mining mode, it'll scan, and then you can still pull out everything you need. How big is that rock? See, like, it really takes some experience now to kind of gauge these rocks, because it doesn't tell you mass, right? Like, I can go to info and it'll tell you instability and it'll tell you resistance. If you don't know anything about rocks, right? A helpful, gauge is resistance is the average of the materials inside the rock. So this is not a very good indicator of how big a rock is. Instability is kind of a, almost a combination of everything. So like, it's all added together to make this number. So the bigger this is, the bigger the rock probably is, right? And then you can kind of look at the materials inside to kind of get like a feel of what's in here, right? It's showing me this one, not the one below, right? But like some things, like let's say quantanium, right? If you see a rock has really high instability and it's 40% quantanium, well, quantanium has a lot of mass to SCU ratio, right? Like, it takes like 800 mass to get 1 SCU of quantanium. So if you're gonna do that, right, then that means that rock is probably pretty big, probably quite large. So really got to keep that in mind. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you. So that's like a little trick to help you out here. They did fix active modules though. Really happy they did that. Oh yeah, see, this is super small rock. Yeah, I can just absorb this one. It's just below 10 SCU is the threshold to extract a rock. Also, if you ever hop on a laser for troubleshooting your mole, and like right now I'm using my controller, it's not working. Sometimes the laser, you have 3 laser heads, so they're all not powered. So come here, switch them on, and then you fixed it. Just something to keep in mind. I know a lot of people get frustrated with that because they don't quite understand why their mole isn't working. That's like a really easy thing to figure out. Like, oh, is it the mole? Is it me? Is it the server? A big thing with Star Citizen right now with 4.0 is kind of identifying, is something client side, and client side being you, or server side being the performance in game. So like, that's really, really critical to understand, because if you think it is you, you'll pull your hair out trying to figure out what the issue is. But if it's server side, maybe changing your server will fix that, but maybe it won't. Sorry about that. That advertisement played over my Mass Effect music. So they have not fixed the mining HUD. They did fix active modules. All the lasers work. All the UIs are great. Something I really wish they would fix is the mole bags in the cargo elevator. They've identified that that's an issue. They just haven't fixed it. Oh yeah, we got a lot of good RS signatures. Oh yeah, look at that one, 15,000. All right, we're gonna go to this one. This one's closer. I'll go to this one and see what we got. Pyro got added, as some of you may know. If you're not tripped to Pyro yet, Pyro is, I think, great for mining. I haven't got there yet. I just fitted out my mole, and I'm still trying to like build my bank account a little bit before heading over to Pyro. I think griefers aren't really something to worry about. I know a lot of people are concerned that Pyro may be full of people who are gonna like bully you, but I mean, as a miner, you don't really have anything that they want because they can't do anything with your bags, right? It's a hassle. It's, you know, fun of the love of the game kind of thing, you know? And you're not a hard target either. So like, where's the real fun in that? Festinite. Where's a bigger rock here? All these rocks are pretty small. Kind of loud. Vexilite, 30%. That's not bad. Ore values had a huge lift in 4.0. A lot of things, like we talked about the rock minables, but a lot of things that really changed is the minables for the ships. So a big thing that's changed is the value of some of the big three. So gold and Bexilite now are interesting. 20, 39. Might get that rock just to sell it. So Bexilite and gold are now sub 7,000, right? They used to be pretty confidently in that, you know what I mean, that 7,500 range. Really, Bexilite was the best one of the group. But now, nope, not anymore. Bexilite and gold are 6,000 or so a piece. And Terranite is this powerhouse now. I mean, Terranite's pushing almost 10K in SCU, which honestly is fantastic if I'm being completely transparent with you guys. I love that. However, it is a bit annoying to mine now. So they changed that. A lot of the mid-tier ores, and mid-tier ores being your Festinites, your barrels, all that stuff, I'd say they all dropped in value a little bit. They kind of sit below that 2,500 threshold. I think Hephaestonite came out a little higher in the whole thing. I think Hephaestonite's pushing closer to 3,000, but all the rest of them are 2,500 or less, which really kind of icks the wow there. Boras is pretty good. I think Boras pushes 3,000 in most areas. Laranite pushing 3,000 in most areas. Pyro does have some new... Ooh, I don't know if I can break this from this. We'll see. I might have to switch lasers. No, no, maybe not. Oh yeah, we're so back, baby. We're so back, baby. Look how smooth these charge now. You guys remember before, like these huge jumps that it would do when you were mining, and now it's like not even close. It's just very smooth. Even if I had this super small rock and a very overpowered laser, it still would not, you know, spike up so fast you can't control it. It would be very, very tolerable. And you'll see it later on when I'm trying to break smaller rocks, but like probably after this one fractures, it might need that. Remember how I talked about earlier, the whole, see how instability is very high, right? Very high. So we have a very high mass to our rock. Yo, Thanatos, what's going on, man? If I said that correctly. If I didn't, just let me know. Good morning, dude. How you doing this morning? So, with Pyro, the minables that got added, there's a lot of mid-tier ores, and some of those mid-tier ores are not great. I'm not even gonna like dive into those because they're not that interesting. There's two big ones that got added. We had Rixite that got added. Rixite pushes about 10K on your standard, what's it called? Like in most places pushing like 10K. And you've got Stellarian. Stellarian pushes almost 15K in some areas. And those are Pyro specific materials. You cannot get those in Stanton. And then of course Quantanium pushes, it's actually gone down. It's kind of more around 20K here in Stanton, but in Pyro it's pushing like 26 though. So I think once I've really established myself in mining and all that jazz, I think I'm gonna mine almost exclusively in Pyro, just because Rixite, Terranite, and Rixite, Terranite, Stellarian, and Quantanium all together make a really strong, you know, thing to the pool, and I'm hoping they dilute the pool of some of the moderate resources so I can see more of those high value ones. But I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed that they said Rixite was more rare than Quantanium in their patch notes, because Quantanium is more expensive than Rixite. So why, I don't understand why Rixite would be more rare if it's not as valuable. It's like half the value. Tenna, yes, I am playing 4.0, my guy. I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm broke. We got 188,000 to our name, my guy. We are hurting. We are hurting. Is this all the rocks though? There's one more. I don't like it greasy enough to break that rock. If that was something else, like that'd be really cool, but remember how I said about the 10 SCU, helpful rule of thumb? This is 10.3, barely over 10. Not that big of a rock, but I can't extract it. Huge rule of thumb to know when you're out there. Another thing is, if you look at it and it's got a charge bar, then it needs to be fractured. And all of these are over 10, so they need to be fractured. So really lame, very lame. I kind of want to make a post for mole quality of life changes, or not mole, but mining quality of life changes, and I want to kind of petition to change extraction laser power, so that way it is based on how big a rock is and not how fast it extracts. I think that's kind of lame. Got your first mole? Hell yeah, my guy, that's what I'm talking about. Get out there and make that money. Get out there. Get it. Don't forget, Helix on the front, Hofstede's in the back. Perfect distance every time. All right. All right, let's go see what this big 15K has. Kind of salty about mining, because like I was flying around in my Zeus doing bounties when I first started to raise a little bit of money to outfit my prospector. And I was finding Quantanium like in every little patch I would just go like nosy around in. And then now that I'm actually flying around in my mining ship, I like don't find Quantanium as much. And then when I was finding Quantanium in my prospector, it was all way too big for my prospector. I mean, you're talking these huge, huge rocks. But now the active mods are back, baby. We are so back. We are so back. Now, mole mining was admittedly kind of annoying in 3.24, just without the use of active mods. It's very frustrating. But now that they're back, oh, I've got the setup in the back. You guys already know. I've got my container. I've got my gadgets. I've got my modules. Oh, we are good. I could run my 2 Rikers and a Stampede off the front. I also learned something pretty interesting. If I can use my front laser, I'll show you guys what I learned. It's about how modules stack. I actually learned something interesting about how those stack. Let's see what we got here.
Mining mode on.
See, mining mode on. You can hear the scanning sounds, right? But it's not quite working. Gold.
Mining mode off.
I didn't like gold before. I really don't like gold now. I'm really hoping this big rock right here is something I want. I hate it when it's a big rock like this and it's like aluminum and inert materials. Gah, see what I mean? Titanium and inert materials. Bruh, come on. Although a rock this size could have a lot of Quantanium in it. Very deceptive. What do we got?
Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
Salvaging? Ugh, no, I hate it. I hate it, bro. I hate it. I can't stand it. It's very frustrating. 9,000. Isn't there a 10,000? We'll go over here. They also changed the way the scanning UI looks. We'll stop by this one. We're right here. Have you noticed it still looks different from even last time? Like, I don't even know what this is. I'm assuming the right side is like the signature or something. If you guys are wondering why I'm scanning so much, it's because it's a bit finicky right now. And I have to like try to get it to work. Come on, like right now. I was wondering when it was gonna do it. Some patches it doesn't really like to like show, and then some patches it will. That's a big rock here too. At first I thought they finally came through with the their promise that asteroid mining was going to be more for moles and planet mining was going to be more for the prospector, and then that just kind of did not come true. All right, well, this isn't going to function for me, so we'll just go to the 10K. Sometimes you have to like fly over it, sometimes you have to get close, you have to fly. It's weird. The whole mining thing is weird right now. But that's okay. I will say I like mining in Pyro. One, because the materials are better, and two, because it's much prettier than mining in Stanton. Like anywhere pretty to mine in Stanton, you have to deal with like the wind blowing you around, and oh, it's so annoying. Oh, that's a big group of whatever that is. Probably Dolovine. I see a lot of Dolovine on Selland. Any big rocks here? Doesn't look like it. These are kind of medium. Maybe if they're all good, I might hop back in the laser. Just because they're all so close to each other. Lied to me, didn't scan. Titanium inert materials. Argo, what are your thoughts on a Argo Raft Salvager variant? I think that's probably where it needs to go, honestly. I think it needs to, because the Vulture is pretty decently sized, right? So that's where that is. And it's already about the size of a Prospector. Like if you look at them side by side, they're about the same size. So my biggest issue is that they have the Prospector frame on the Fortune, it looks like. And I don't think that is wise. I think that's kind of silly. Like, unless they're gonna make it much, much bigger, which I don't think they are. So they really gotta fix it. But a raft, the raft could be good. Like the part where the cargo goes, if you enclose that and raise the bottom, so to speak, or raise the top, I think that could really work out. Yeah, and then give it like a 100 SCU capacity or so. Yeah, actually that sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, and you put like one, maybe two salvage heads on the front, because right now it looks like they're just trying to put a what's it called, a reclaimer head on a prospector, which is fine, but I think two salvage heads is good. One big salvage head like is not that great, right? Like it isn't like the reclaimer salvage heads are like super good. That's a good idea though. Yeah, the game has quite a few bugs. It's very disheartening, I would say. It's got about the same amount as it had in the PTU. I don't know if you participated in the PTU festing, so I'm not super surprised by that, if I'm being honest. I think the biggest bummer is the missions. I think missions not working is pretty lame. Come on. All right, well, we will set this up right here, because I I want to know what's in that rock that's not scanning. And we'll get this Teradite rock while we're at it. But see, the problem though is if the fortune fits in the Polaris, then that means the fortune is just going to be the same size as the prospector. It's just going to be the same size as the vulture. Like, what's the point? Like, it's meant to be a mid-sized ship, right? Just how the prospector sizes up to the mole, and then the mole will size up to the Arastra, and the Arastra will size up to the Orion, right? That makes the most sense, which is a good system. But if they're not going to make the fortune bigger than the vulture, then people are just going to fly the vulture. It's not going to be good, like, objectively. Boras. Okay. Okay, I only want the Terranite then. Whoa! Woo! Well, this might blow up. Whoops, that was a little too much power there. Oh, good thing I was far away. Whoops. Didn't think that was that much power. Ooh. That's a pretty good rock to survive. I thought I would have blown up all the Terranite. Oh, man. Whoops. That was embarrassing. Sorry, guys. I can't do what people are watching. Well, good thing I was parked so far away. And let that be a lesson for all you new miners out there. You always start off with lower power. 24% Terranite. That'll give me 1 SCU of it. Not sure. 24%. A little more than that. That's fine. So the bit tricky with mining right now is you're trying to find that like right rock, right? Like it's not as clean cut as it used to be. Before I used to find a couple rocks in a patch, but I guess I'm searching about as much as I used to. Because I used to search for like the right material, but now I'm more searching for the rock size. It's kind of like the same. Yes, if you put a ship in the Polaris and you close the doors, whatever ship you put in there will stay. So you can put a fighter, you can put a, what's it called? A vulture. A vulture will actually fit in there. So you get away with a lot. Oh, that's another one. Sweet. Kraken landing pads? That's a good question. I wonder if the Kraken pads will work like that. Hope so. Personally, I'm not a Kraken hype person. I think the Kraken's kind of a bit over hyped for what it is. I think there are other ships that may be more relevant, more powerful than that. Is that big? I don't think so. That's small. Ugh, I already miss mining in Pyro. It's just so much prettier. Flying around a moon is boring. All right.
Mining mode on.
What is this? Titanium?
Off. Mining mode on.
These big rocks driving me nuts. Oops. A little premature there. Jumped the gun.
Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
Another quality of life thing I want to petition them for is the
Mining mode
refineries. Refineries right now are already at like 2,000%, like something crazy, 20,000%. Like I don't know how they are so
mining mode off.
it's like day 2, day 3 of the patch, and it's already like grossly overproduction. Like, come on. So now you have to play extreme surcharge for your mining orders already. I've never seen what a not extreme surcharge looks like. Mole mining broken? Not quite. There's workarounds. You just have to know how to use it. Oh, I think I just crashed. Yeah, I just crashed. 1 second. It does. The servers do this weird crashing thing now. So I'm gonna have to end the task. Might be a minute or two because it'll tell you. You guys will see it. It'll give you this error code. But to what you were saying though, mole mining is not broken. At least not quite. Mole mining, the mining UI is invisible in the pilot seat. Right? A lot of people say it's not there. It's there, right? Because you can press the buttons. It'll say mining mode on, mining mode off. It'll say that. So it's on, and then the UI doesn't appear. And then if you look at a rock, it'll outline as you saw it doing for me, right? In yellow and all that. I can't join the shard I was on because it's full. That's crazy. That's crazy. What do you mean I can't join? You're not even gonna put me in a queue? You won't even let me switch servers? Really? All right. Refund. We'll launch Arena Commander. See if we can knock this out. Log out completely. Log back in. But I did. I went to desktop. All right, we'll close everything out. Exit. We'll exit the app on the launcher. Open the launcher. All right, let's go again. Worked for you? Hey, I'll give it. I'm down to try. It, you know, the preview has its, you know, fair share of bugs. I hadn't seen that one before. Usually, when it shoots me out like that and I try to log back in, it'll say the server or shard you were on experienced an error, and to try again later. And it usually takes like a minute or two, and then I can load back in. There we go. Oh, see, yeah, I think it did have that problem. All right, I want to cancel. I want to join someone else's server. I'm not waiting in queue for that long. Oh, there's like nobody in his server. Oh, his server's full. I was gonna say session is full. Is 100 and fucking. There was 160 people in it. 556, 558. There we go. We'll join his server. I wasn't waiting through 208 people, bro. I was not waiting through 208 people. Oh, bro, I'll be here all day. Oh, man. Oh, it'll take forever. No way. No how. Whew. Planet-side mining working? Kind of. Occasionally, you'll pull up to a patch, and it won't register the collision on the minables. So, and you'll know that immediately because they will not outline in blue and pop out. So if you see, they'll always have the little mining corkscrew logo, wherever that is. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Oh, no. Oh, well. I wonder, cool thing about that server error, though, is my ship should be stored. So I should be able to go to the refinery and just sell that stuff real quick. And that's Gucci to me.
Hi, thanks for
Don't
coming
mind
in.
that at all. But yes, it works. You just kind of have to get it to register collision. I haven't really found a consistent thing to do it. Sometimes it will do it by flying over it and scanning it. I hear it. It's not opening. Oh, server error. Couldn't be Star Citizen. Couldn't be Star Citizen. Alright, we're just gonna... It's really annoying to sit there and listen to the machinery really loud, so I'm just gonna mute that. While we wait for the server error. Work around Reddit for the planet side mining rocks not scanning. Run up to them with scan mode on and do not turn on mining mode until they scan. If turn on mining mode first, will never work. Interesting. But I've had that happen when not in mining mode though. I've had that happen when I pull up, like you just saw like right there, some of the ones I pulled up to, I was in scanning mode when I pulled up and it still wasn't working. But I have found that it'll do that, and if I go to another rock area, like I go to another patch, and that works, and I go back to the one that wasn't working, that'll work sometimes. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. That was the fastest repositioning player I have ever seen in my life. I've never seen that go that fast before. Oh, the server's still recovering. I wonder if it's doing the interacting thing, which is just not letting me interact at all. Armistice zone just registered. Okay, yeah. Everything's just loading back up in the server. Unless, yeah, I think everything's just loading back up in the server. There we go. Server side, not client side. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I've noticed with the scanning UI is, I mean, I keep the scanning UI most of the time, and then the thing that kind of gives me the tip off is once the rocks pop up, because it'll tell you what type of rock it is, and they'll highlight blue, like igneous or shale or obsidian, whatever the deposit is. But that way, it's pretty helpful. Look at that order, baby. That's a nice order right there. Yep, all my stuff is still here. Whatever, ore refined, Terranite, Bexelite. I'm not gonna do the Bexelite. Actually, what rocks is these? I might sell it direct if it'll let me sell direct. There we go. 75,000. How much Terranite did I have? Look how much money. I'll tell you how much. Look how much money you get in here. It's not bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna sell it over the refinery. I kind of really only want to refine Quantanium. Quantanium and a lot of Terranite I'll refine. I have noticed that with the increase in material prices, I haven't quite found out what the refinery's basing it off of. I don't know if it's the most value you can get for that or what, but I have noticed that refining used to be really, really lucrative. And I don't think they've increased refining prices, but what I think they have changed is they have changed that you get paid more money for selling direct to refinery. Because now, if you were to pay for the highest cost of refinement, it is about 10% of what you'd get paid, 10 to 15%. So what ends up happening is you only make about 30% more refined than you do selling direct. So then it becomes a question of, is that 30% worth the hassle? Right? That's, for me, that's what the question becomes. Uh-oh. You say you can't process at this time, I'm gonna slap you. Ah.
Your vehicle
okay.
has been. Please visit us again.
Whew. Thanks, Siri. So a lot of times now, I've actually found myself selling to the refinery instead of refining, just because, I don't know, is that 30% worth the trip to the TDD? I've also changed where I do my TDD selling at. I used to be a big Lorville person. Lorville used to have a pretty higher than average place to sell, because you couldn't really sell in many places, right? It was basically just like the TDDs, but now they've added admin commodity terminals to like most stations, which is really weird. So you can be surprised at what you can sell where. So I encourage you guys to go check that out on UEX, or just explore around yourself to check out prices. But once you've kind of figured out where you want to go, like Orison for me is my new place to go, because Terranite is pushing 10K at Orison. Quantanium admittedly is kind of low at 20K, but I mean, that's okay because, you know, I'm chilling. You know, when Terranite's pushing 10K and Quantanium's pushing 20K, I mean, I think I brought enough Terranite to, I had maybe a module full of the Caterpillar and Terranite, and that was like 500,000. It was crazy. I think 3 refinery orders, and I got like 500,000. And that was Prospector refinery orders. Where is it? It's usually, no. What's that? What's the station's set quantum? Back to selling. Yeah, I think this week is probably going to be my big week to, my Stanton week, and then next week, I think I'm probably going to start my Pyro mining. Strip mine that thing, boy. Something I like about Pyro that is really, really, I don't know, not fair is the refineries in Pyro are at the same place as the TDDs, right? So, depending on the materials, because they don't let you sell every material, but at some refineries, because Rune Station, Obituary, and Checkmate are the 3 refineries, plus the Pyro Gateway, but that's really far out of the way. So assuming you do one of the big 3 stations that are in the middle, I would recommend Obituary because it's in the middle, but wherever you want. And you go there, refine there, you can just deliver it and go straight to the admin terminal and never fly your ship anywhere. Like, you don't even have to do anything else, which is crazy to me. Like, no risk at all to getting mugged. Like, no one could stop you, right? Your only risk is on your way to go deliver your ore to the refinery to go refine it. But that's like your also least profitable time, because who wants to attack a mole, right? Like, it's for the fun. You know, that's no fun. Mole's not gonna fight back. It can't run away. It can't. It's not valuable unless you want to jump through hoops to go refine it, because you can't sell the ore directly to anybody. So it's, yeah, that's just me though. Yo, Wacko, what's up, my guy? Suggestions for mole setup? Absolutely. If you want a super in-depth breakdown of it, I do have an advanced mole mining guide if you want to check that out. I'm sure it's somewhere like on the side of your screen, or it's on my channel somewhere. So that's everything in that video still applies. First, setting up your mole though, the front laser, you definitely want a Helix 2. Helix 2 is the most powerful size 2 laser, and it can take 3 modules. And then you can kind of adjust it to whatever mining style you like. If you're not comfortable with small charge windows, you might want to throw a Focus 3 on it or 2. If you are, then you can really start jacking up the Helix 2 for power and start throwing like Stampede or Surges on it or whatever like floats your boat when it comes to that. And then the rear lasers, you want Hofstedes, because the minimum and maximum laser power, or range, sorry, not power, ranges for those match up. So if you are at the optimal zone for your Helix, you're going to be at the optimal zone for those Hofstedes in the back, which is good by yourself because you can line up, you only have to line up once if you're alone. And it's good if people come join you because all of the lasers will be lined up together at the same time. So it really eliminates the need to reposition your ship. And then Hofstedes in the back, they take 2 modules. They're not the most powerful assisting laser, but they are great support lasers. So I can bust about 40 to 50k rocks by myself if I throw 3 surges on the front. You're kind of pushing it though. It's a bit it's hard to control it. So like if you're not comfortable with it, don't try it. But because you need like 3 surges. There we go. And then the back lasers, I mean, you can build those however you want. I think they're fine just the way they are. If you wanted to like throw Rikers on them, you just absolutely want to crush it in power. But you don't have to. You could absolutely just like throw, I think I do the Torrent 3 and a Focus 3 on one, and that's my sub-fracture and heavy support laser. And then I do a Riker C3 and another Focus on the other one. So that way, if it's a big rock that's really valuable, we all have to worry about overcharging it. Yo, cheers 76. Thanks for stopping by, my guy. Found a Terranite inert gold 40, 50, 10%. It was nice. Oh, that's an amazing rock. I don't know how you'd break that though. That sounds like it'd have a lot of mass to it. That's gold and Terranite. Shoot, that's tough. Yeah, Wacko, I'd say it's the same as any 3.20 something whatever patch. Gonna be the same. Not a huge change in what's there. Wish this rock would scan. There we go. Boras. I don't really want Boras though. Oh my, these are right beside each other too. These are like right beside each other. 2k apart. That's like, I might as well be 120k signature. They're so close. Yeah, look at this. Look how close these are. 11k and a 10k. The bands would both be 11k. Huge. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. Watch this have the big Quantanium rock. I know there was a lot of Quantanium earlier, but I've actually seen bigger rocks than that, and I wasn't able to break them because I was in my prospector. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. I fly up and over. That's why I keep doing it, and it like makes the rocks work. I don't know. It's super weird. Maybe it's like a superstition thing, but like, I don't know. Come on. 50% gold.
Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
I'm so picky. I'm so picky. I'm like 50% gold, and I'm like, yeah, but it's gold, you know, it's gold. I don't like gold. You guys are wondering why I don't like gold? It's because gold inherently has really high resistance and really low or really high mass to SCU ratio. So it's difficult to mine, and then it's only worth 6,000. So it's like Quantanium difficulty. But what's it called? Quantanium difficulty with a quarter of the price. Like, let me see, 6,000 in SCU time. Yeah, I mean, a full mole of this would probably be like half a milli. These rocks are like decently sized. And the cluster factor is so balls too. Ugh. And that's another thing I hate about it too, is because like you see all that 35%, and then that 35% is going to be spread out over like, I don't know, every single subfracture of that rock. Ugh. I know there's Quantanium around these parts, just where is it? Again, the flyover and the register. I missed the mining UI. I can't wait for them to fix that. Bestonite.
Mining mode off. Mining mode on. Mining mode off.
Yeah, okay. That's different.
On.
I mean, that was a lot of gold over there. That was like 4 or 5 gold rocks. On a hunt for Quantanium is my problem. Hope that good. Bexelite. Bexelite has a better mass to SCU ratio. Look at those rays. You can see the line it cuts from the mountain. That's crazy. All right, well, we'll switch this into nav mode and we'll take off. Pigeth, bro, you know who you're talking to right now? Have I seen the new, what's it called? Have I seen the new Terranite prices? Absolutely. They're ridiculous. It's like pushing 10K. Thing is worth a fortune. Terranite's absolutely nuts now. Nuts. All right, there it is.
Shields on.
That's a big one. Oh, there's 2 of that. Oh, that's a 17. I was about to say 17. Oh yeah, Terranite's everywhere. Honestly, I found a lot of valuable ores, much more frequently now than it used to. Terranite, Bexelite, gold. I mean, even Quantanium. I mean, we haven't found it now, but like yesterday, I was finding it everywhere. I was tripping over it. Absolutely ridiculous.
Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
I think granite has been my big Terranite ones. All right, so there's this one, and then that one on the left. They're both 10K signatures, so we'll go check these out. Took an 18K mass quant rock with. If you broke 18K mass rock with your mole, that's pretty impressive. I ain't gonna lie. That's very, very impressive. Those are big rocks. Kind of learned that the big signatures are usually where the Quantanium is. You just gotta get lucky. All right, let's see here.
Mining mode on.
Come on, baby, just one of you. Just one of you. No? Oh, come on, that's tough. Oh, it's Hephaestonite, bro. I don't want Hephaestonite. Grecium? Alright, I think I'd rather have Hephaestonite than Grecium. I've gotten so spoiled with mining. I'm the worst value miner ever. So picky. Yeah, that mining hut in the mole that makes this tough, honestly. I mean, there's some skills you can like, what's the word, improve to kind of get a better idea, but all in all, though, they're not. It's still pretty annoying. I cracked this laranite rock to do it. Gold, laranite, 33% gold, 33%. I might go for that one actually. Yeah, I mean the trick is to learn what the mass is gonna be. Like this one, this is probably between 15 and 20k. Actually, it's laranite, probably between 10 and 15k. That one is probably between 10 and 15. Yeah. These are both probably between 10 and 15. Actually, that rock's a little bigger than I thought it was. Let's see. Kind of tired of flying around. Let's break something. I did mention earlier, I promised to talk about something I noticed with the lasers. Oh my goodness. Thank you. And that is what I learned while I was in 4.0 in Pyro, because you couldn't use active mods, so I was using a lot of passive mods, and I noticed that the math was being kind of weird.
Systems activating. Systems
on. Oh, this rock's smaller than I thought it was. I was right on my first guess. Yeah, my first guess was correct, 15 to 20. So, what I learned was, a lot of people think that these are stacking buffs. Stacking by math. So 25% plus 25% equals 50%, right? So then the logic there is that this down here should be 150. But if you look, it's actually 156. Now, how did we get to that 156 number? All right, well, let's see. Well, 100 plus the first 25% is 125, right? That's how that math works all day, every day. It is exactly the same. Now, what is 125 times 25%? Is 31%. Technically, it's 31 and a quarter, but I'm assuming for rounding math, it would go down. So that would be 31%. So 25% of 125 is 31%. So 31 plus 125 is 156. Now that is really important because that means that let's think about surges, right? Or stampedes, right? My stampede's gonna add 35% to that, but it's not gonna add 35% of 100. It's gonna add 35% of 156, right? And 35% of 156 is 54. So that means I'm pushing 210% laser power out of this thing when I turn that stampede on. That is huge. Another thing is what that means for surges, and also explains why with surges I'm so powerful. So that means with a surge, right, you have 100 plus your first surge, which is 50. So 150. Oh my God, no, not again, not again. We'll see if it clears. That's what I get for talking too much. Anyway. So, as I was saying, with the surge, you've got 150 laser power. Well, 50% of that is 75. So now I need to do math on that. So now we're at 225. And now that's with two surges. Two surges is now you're at 225 laser power. So now we add another 50%. You see where I'm going with this, right? That means with 3 surge modules, you are pushing over 300% laser power because they stack. They compound, I should say, not stack, they compound. I'm resetting the game, guys. The server failed again. 300% laser power with 3 surges. No long, it's not 150. It's not that. No. 300% laser power is crazy. Triple. You're pushing triple the power. Bruh, that's so much. That's so much. Oh, it's so much. All right, let's do this again. Arena Commander, offline, pre-flight launch. Let's reset this again. I know, I'm pretty sure people keep joining and be like, oh, pff. Problems, and they leave. This doesn't look like mining. I know, guys. I know. I'm trying. I find it insulting. It's telling me the server's full. It's like, bro, my avatar is still there. My avatar is still there. They're telling me the server failed. I need to go contribute to that issue council, so I need to go do. All right, we're pulling it up, guys. Don't worry, we're pulling it up. We're pulling it up. I know. It's good, guys. I feel like you ever seen the Spiffing Brett? Where it's like totally balanced game with no issues. This is a totally complete game with no bugs or issues at all. Oh, there we go. I wonder if other people are having similar issues. Oof. There we go. Well, this means we're going to be back at the station again. And yeah. All right then. Maybe I just need to be less picky. Start getting some of these. I'm about to be a volume miner for the day. Ugh, sounds gross to say. A volume miner. All right. Well, that sound let me know I'm gonna appear in a bed. You know, for me not running any frame generation stuff, the frames on this are surprisingly good for me. I've seen like other creators and they're like struggling with their frames, but my frame rate looks solid. Is that a camera? I'm running around this ugly armor. I don't know how anyone runs around this Arville armor. Hate it.
Welcome to the
My
ASOS
sad
Vocal Retrieval
ship
System.
collection.
Stand by. Your vehicle has please visited.
Let's go. Quantum jump simulator. Oh, not this again. This is a really annoying glitch. It won't click my hanger, but it'll take me to whatever. Oh no, no. Oh. It's okay, guys. It's okay. No issues. There's nothing. This is no problems at all. I like how it brings me back in the elevator that I didn't leave in.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been. Please visit us again.
Trying to clear the error out so it'll work the elevator correctly. There we go, that worked. Hello, beautiful. All right. About to just go to Pyro. Got all the tools I needed. It's expensive to outfit this mole. I think the only thing I don't have is the upgraded shield generators. Well, you missed you missed the server failing about 4 times. Of 4 times, you know. You definitely have not missed any bugs at all. There's been 0 bugs in the stream. Honestly, Star Citizen's never played better.
Systems activated. Systems on. Shields.
No, but I talked about all the a lot of the changes that have happened in 4.0 in the beginning of the stream, so probably wouldn't watch that now, but later on I talk about all of the changes that have happened. So, a lot of the commodity changes, a lot of the mining changes, stuff like that. Yeah, honestly, if they could just fix refineries and you know what? Oh, Damar's got iron though. I was gonna go to Damar, but at the same time, Damar's got iron. I don't like iron.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
What kind of hardware do I have? I have an i9-900. I have a 4070 overclocked. I have 128 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4. I forget the speed. I think it's one of the 3000 ones, like 38, 35, 3500, 3800. I don't remember which one. And then it's liquid cooled. So a lot of people wonder why I have so much RAM, but I only have one PC. So like right now I am streaming and playing SC at, is this 2K? 2K, right? Yeah, 2K. I'm trying to get a 4K monitor, but 2K. And I have all the highest graphics settings turned up. A lot of people don't know, and I didn't know this at first playing Star Citizen, but the game actually runs better on higher graphics settings than lower graphics settings. Which sounds very counterintuitive, but Star Citizen is not optimized for low graphics settings, so it is much better to run it at higher graphics settings. I also run like cloud photo mode, so like I don't know, you can see the detail in the clouds from here. Like don't look at the ship, look at the clouds. Like look how ridiculous the clouds look from here. If I flew down there, oh, it's gorgeous. You should see it in Pyro. Clouds look crazy on Pyro for me. Hopefully my wife, if she's watching this right now, got me a new CPU for Christmas. Star Citizen inherently has a very high load on the CPU. I wonder if I can show it. Does it pop up when I do that? No, you guys can't see it. But yeah, my CPU load. Well, actually, no, my CPU load is actually pretty low right now. It used to be higher. I don't know why it's so low. Yeah, my CPU utilization right now is at 32. It hovers around 30 to 40, but my GPU, man, that thing is redlining all the time. All the time. But I'd say pretty consistently, though, I'm averaging 60 FPS or higher in most places. Especially since 4.0. 4.0, like, people can say what they want about some of the issues of 4.0, but I'd say the issues, in my opinion, are rather minor. Minor in the sense of they're easy enough to fix, right? Like, missions not working in the grand scheme of gameplay is not a minor issue. However, when you factor in that you have 5 times the number of players on a server than you did just the previous patch, and this is running, I would say, better than 3.24 did, that's impressive. You quadrupled, quintupled? Whatever it is, 5 times the amount of players, right? In the very next patch, like they have ironed out the performance issues very well. Like impressively so, if I might add. So something like missions not working or something, like I'm sure that's like something they can hot fix right out of this. Like probably not too hard at all. Oh, now I know what to do. Kind of amusing to do that. Can you imagine like running from that? Like shooting around somebody? Like a movie? Anyway. Alright, well. 15, 7,000, 9,000, 1,000. There's that ship over there. Oh, this is the beta signature and I can't use it. 7,000. I want to fly our way over there. Oh, there's a 9,000. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. I mean, the scanning UI thing with like the upper on the screen and all that stuff is pretty cool, honestly. I like that. I just wish they'd change it. I wish they'd give me the mole UI back. Oh, right here. Oh, these look healthy. Look at these guys. These look decent size. Okay, alright, okay. Alright. Come on, register. Thank you. Make me dance for it now. I wish when I zoomed in, it would give me more of like a UI. Like, this is cool for combat. I wish it had like a mining equivalent to that. Ooh, what's this? Titanium Laranite. Oh, lame. High instability. I was curious about that. Got me all excited. You know what I'm saying? Titanium gold. Oh, there's the turret. Oh, it's consumption. That's what that is. A useless POI. Titanium inert materials. How much Laranite was that? 30%? Maybe I'll break that rock. Okay. Remember what I said though about those surges, because as how you break. A lot of people wonder why I run the mole solo. One is because the cost to hire people is expensive, because then you really have to be a value miner, right? Every mining load like has to be very thought out. Oh yeah, 29K. I wonder if I could break this. I have to find out. No, hour. I don't think so. Oh, ooh, yeah. Oh. I'm gonna get closer. Yeah, I'm just not close enough. Yeah, I'm busting this rock. Yep, I'm busting this rock. Yeah, I just need to get a little closer. Just need to get a little closer. 29K. Some people don't believe me because they never see me do it when I say I bust 50, 60K rocks. I'm like, bro, I'm about to bust a 30K rock, and I don't even have my best setup on it. I'm just running my standard Helix with the 2 Rikers and a Stampede. All right. It's about to be really close. And now I can't overcharge it though, right? I'm gonna blow my whole turret off. Oh, here we go. All right. Not again. Not again. Bro, it's doing it so often. I don't know if this is happening to anybody else. I don't really watch other creators. I'm gonna start pulling up other creators, start seeing if it happens to them. Do you guys know? Have you guys watched other creators know if it happens or not? I'm curious. Or is it just me? Kind of like diagnosing like a client side or server side thing, you know what I mean? Which just wouldn't be so bad if I had stuff in my mole. At that point, it'd be kind of helpful because you just go down to the refinery and sell your stuff. It'd be kind of funny. I have to go hop on my Zeus with my ADB4s and just start go blowing stuff up. Yeah, because the game hasn't crashed. Because it's not registering me like any problems with the game. Because I can click around and it doesn't give me the like waiting on program error code. You know what I'm talking about? Usually it'll do that if my game is crashing on my computer. So I don't think it's my game. I don't think it's me. Hang on. Let's see. Let's go. Let's test this out. Let's find out. Let's see. Thank you guys. No, don't worry. I haven't forgot you guys. I haven't forgot. All right. We're gonna go down here. Let's see. Support, issue council, our citizen. Sorry, it's a bit quiet. There we go. Filters open and just confirmed. I know. Live. The results. Just contributed. Can't see contracts. Infinite loading screen. Just load randomly at flight. ASAP not working. Crash on desktop. Quantum issues. Lobby code. Kind of looks like it. Let's see. What is this issue? Crash on desktop, maybe? Size. Getting the island of Buddha. This issue is quite popular. Sorry for the inconvenience. No, I don't think it's this one. What is the problem? What is it? Loading screen. Black screen occurs. You know exactly what's happening. This appears to be it. The other people are having this issue. If you guys don't do this, please, please, please make sure you're doing this when you're playing. I know it's a game. I know we have a lot of fun, but we are alpha testers. We are video game testers, for lack of a better word. So this is the stuff you have to go look up. If you've never done an issue council, I'm not gonna dive into it. So you can search it, right? Just like I did. You can search keywords, or you can just try to submit it and it'll try to match you. And then it'll come up. I usually like to sort it by either most relevant or most contributed. That's usually the most helpful for me. And then you click on it, and then you can see here people have to describe it. And this is the submitter that does this. So how to create it, what happened to them, what should have happened, if there's a way to work around it, and then evidence is whatever they've seen. Oh my goodness.
That's why we have safety tips for things like fires.
Okay. And then here's the evidence from not just them, but a lot of people, right? And then here is just the activity feed where everyone who's contributed will be there. This is kind of a black and white issue, so you don't see a lot of nuance here, but if you went to some mining issues or anything like that, you would see that stuff here. So if you have an issue, don't be a complaining global person, right? A SIG, right? Don't be a complaining global person. Come in here, submit the issue council. That is how stuff gets fixed. SIG does not come read global chat. In case anyone was wondering, this is where you get it fixed. Critical. And then you submit your game version, and then your game settings. This is auto generated. It tells you how to do it when you first submit it, and then it saves it for every other time. Same thing for the My Device. This is all pre-set up, right? So some of you are asking me, there's specifically what I have, right? So it uses that, and you can pick that, or if you need to change it, but it's saved every time you do it. There's your chance to add evidence. So if you have screenshots or recordings and stuff, that's where you can put that here. And then if you want to describe what happened, you can describe what happened. Yeah. And you can always come back and edit it. So submit, and then boom, there it is right there. Boom, that's me. I contribute to issue council. But if you go in here, you can see all my past things. And if you ever want to get into like ePTU testing, right, and you're always wonder why you're maybe not one of those people, come in here, and this is how you, well, it's not like guaranteed, but you can come in here and you can see all the stuff you've contributed. Confirm just means there's enough people. You need at least 10 to get it confirmed. It does not guarantee anything. And then here is where like under investigation means they're actually looking into it. Fixed, that's pretty obvious what that means. Archive, sometimes they archive them after they've been fixed recently, or sometimes they will archive them if they don't think it's an issue, or maybe they fixed it somewhere else, which is kind of annoying, but yeah. So you can see a lot in here. I have quite a few fixes, quite a few confirms. I mean, I have 2 pages of this stuff. So you'll see a lot of mining ones in here for me. You'll see some other random ship and other stuff like that, but okay. All right, well, enough time has passed. That's enough of that. What was that? All right, let's get back to it. Well, that makes me feel a little better now that I know it's happening to a lot of people. I kind of suspected it just because when I would try to log back in, there was this huge queue of people to log in. Usually a pretty solid indicator that it's a server issue. Like when the game, when 4.0 first dropped, you had these really huge queue times. But now that we are well past that and we're kind of to normal operations, you should see a queue of really more than like, I would say 30. Even that's kind of high. I'm kind of being generous there, but no shard or session available to join. Region is possibly at capacity. Sorry. Please try again later. Okay. Oh, 306. 306. Oh, no. So hard. I mean, a lot of people are logging in. Kind of the nice part about being in Stanton is nobody's in Stanton. You know what's crazy about this queue time is that there's 500 people on a server. 500 people on a server. And half the server is joining right now. Half the server. You know, guys, you know what? Star Citizen is a perfectly normal game with no bugs, honestly. I'm just glad that this is a game that has like 0 bugs. 0. You know what I've also noticed, random thing, is that I had a lot of friends on before, and now I don't. So I wonder if this is just this really bad systemic thing that's happening right now, and it's just everyone's joining and everyone's just getting booted off servers, and it's just constantly happening. Oh, they're doing so good with 4.0 too. I don't know what changes when they switch from PTU to live, but it's so different. I don't think it's the amount of people, because it went to all waves and we didn't have this many issues in the PTU. You know what I mean? Like, categorically, it was not this bad. Like, I mean, mission issues, kind of. I mean, mission markers were more so the issue, not really so much the contracts themselves. It's just, but there was like workarounds for the markers. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird that they can do something as simple as switching from PTU to live, and then you run into this shift in performance. It's all right, guys. It'll get better, you know. They took their holiday. They did a big push all the way to the end. It's very, very, very impressive. Very sprint to the finish. I feel like everyone's in this queue. Anyone know any jokes? Yeah, I think I want to make a post on Spectrum. I'll probably share it on the channel once I do. Because what I would like to happen is I'd like 2 quality of life changes for mining. One is the refineries. I think they need to seriously up their capacity because it's like always a extreme workload and a large surcharge, which is ridiculous. It was like that before 4.0 when there was 100 person on the server, and now we have 500 people on the server. You know what I mean? I almost feel like the refineries are inter-server linked. Actually, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, it's like everyone that plays the game is using that refinery instead of just the people on that server. And that makes it really high operating costs to try to refine, right? Because like it's always, I don't even think that's something the devs have noticed. I don't know. I kind of want to bring that to their attention. I want that addressed. I think that would really help the mining loop to make more money. And then popular refineries would just be over workloaded. But I can go to any refinery and it's going to be an extreme workload. It does not matter what refinery I go to. It's under an extreme workload every single time, every time. So I want to change that. I want them to change extraction laser power because right now extraction laser power does nothing. Nothing. Nobody cares about extraction laser power. So what a helpful change to that would be is right now extraction laser power controls how fast you extract a rock. I think it should control how big of a rock you can extract, right? Because now sacrificing extraction laser power is whatever, right? Because that hard number is 10 SCU. Anything less than 10 SCU on a rock, regardless of mass, you can extract. So you can have a 8K mass rock of Quantanium, which is about accurate, and it'll be like 9 SCUs, and you can extract it. On the flip side, you can have like a 2K mass rock of, let's say, Hephaestonite, and it'll be like 14 SCUs, and you'll have to fracture it. And it's ridiculous. Even in the Prospector, that's a really small rock to fracture. That's comical. So I think they should make it not necessarily mass-based, although I think mass-based would be a bit more balanced. What I think they should do is make it where the more extraction laser power you have, the bigger rock you can extract. That you don't have to fracture it. You can just absorb it straight off the jump. And if you did that, now what you run into is that is a play style now. You've just created a play style in the mining gameplay loop of where, okay, do I want to build my mining ship to break rocks into smaller pieces so I get purer pieces, right? A value miner, right? That's what those are. Or do I want to be a volume miner where I want to build my laser to have the most extraction laser power as possible so I don't have to fracture rocks. I can just fly out in my Prospector or Mole, right? Because Mole has inherently more powerful lasers. And I just fly out and I can extract whatever rock I come up across, short of it being like, you know, really, really big. But I can now just go ahead and extract it. That's really, really good, right? And then you also have now made inert material filtering relevant. Because right now, no one's really building for that. And if you are, I'm sorry, you're silly. So you can have this good combination of extraction laser power and inert material filtering, and you could play with that and have like a whole new play style of mining to go with that. On the flip side, the other thing you do there is the Arastra comes out, it's gonna become a problem because you're going to be doing the same thing you do in the mole and the Arastra, right? It's just sized up. That's what it is, right? Same thing in the Arastra, it's just sized up. And with it being sized up, that means you have size 3 lasers. So, well, you're not going to be fracturing small rocks, right? And if the 10 SCU limit stays there, the issue you run into is, okay, I'm going to run up on a 40k mass rock with my size 3 laser. I'm going to fracture it, but because I need 10 SCU size to extract, all these sub pieces, all these sub fragments are going to be too big. But my laser is going to be too strong. So we've now run into this issue that you kind of have on the mole sometimes, at least I do, because I can break a 30k mass rock. I was about to do it before this crashed. I can break a 30k mass rock by myself. You break that rock, and now your rock, that laser you used to break that rock, that was just strong enough to crack 30k, is way too strong to try to crack 6 or 7k. And it's making the charge window smaller. So you were just creating this huge annoyance with yourself. It's just also why I tell people to build the mole the way that I tell them to build it, because those rear lasers, yes, they're great support for that front laser, but if I can build that front laser to break a 50k rock by itself with no help, with a skilled hand, well then if I get people in the back, it's only going to improve the experience. That's why they're built for support, because yes, they're going to add some laser power. Between the two of them, they're going to add a whole helix worth of laser to it, but I don't need it, right? I need their support. I need the power that they provide. That's what I really need. Because my rear lasers always provide, what, let's see, 40, 100, about 140 optimal charge window size. Really more, actually. 180. They provide, no, what, 60, 40, 40, 200. They provide 200% optimal charge window size. So they make that charge window 3 times as big. 3 times as big. 1 makes it twice as big, 2 makes it 3 times as big. So 3 times as big.
Vehicle retrieval system.
It charges 50% faster.
Vehicle selected. Stand
And they're
by.
adding about
Your vehicle has
7,000
been
more
visited.
laser power into a rock. That's solid, right? Because I can put 3 surges on the front laser, and that front laser will break any rock we come across. And I have very rarely found a rock above 60k. I mean, I know where to find them. It's not going to be on Selin. I used to think rock mass was really important, but really rock mass, it's going to sound weird. Every rock in Star Citizen's the same size. Rocks in Star Citizen are all the same size. And when I say size, I'm talking about SCU. And once you realize that, it changes the way you think about mining. Right? But these 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80k rocks, right? The reason their mass, what it's derived from, is what is in the rock. What is in the rock is not derived from the mass. The mass is derived by what's in the rock. So let's take a rock that is 50% gold and a rock that is 50% Hephaestonite have different mass values. How can that be possible? Fox, what are you talking about? What is this third wall that you're breaking? What are you talking about? Because the mass comes from what's in it. So a rock that is 50% Hephaestonite, and let's say it has 50 SCUs in it. 50 SCUs is 50% Hephaestonite. Okay. Well, the way that works is... One second. What's the mass to SCU ratio for Hephaestonite? It's about 120, I think. About 120. 120 mass equals
Shields off.
1 SCU. Okay, what's the mass to SCU ratio for gold? It's like 800.
Quantum travel.
See where I'm going with this?
Quantum travel complete.
Oh, server border. So that means 120 times 25. It's only about 3,000 mass. That would be 3,000 mass, right? Oh, sorry. 30,000. Oh, no, I was right. 3,000. 120 mass, or 120 each, times 25 of them. This would be 3,000 mass. Okay. Now let's up that to 800. 800 times 25 SCUs. 20,000. 20,000. That's the difference there. And all we did was change what the material was.
Quantum travel complete.
Again, all rocks are the same size in terms of SCU. Now, what this becomes an issue with is not gold or Hephaestonite. No. That's not where you run into this issue. This becomes relevant with your common ores, right? I don't pick my common ores because of their value. I pick my common ores because of their stats. And that is like something a lot of people don't do. So why do I like Selin so much? It's not because Selin has just small rocks or smaller rocks and all that. I pick Selin because Selin has the best common materials, titanium and aluminum. Titanium and aluminum have some of the smallest mass to SCU ratios. I think they're in like the 200s, which means their rocks are inherently smaller. Yeah. They also have better cluster factor, which means those materials like to hug each other when they break. Gold does not. Gold has a really bad cluster factor. That's why gold is really annoying to mine, because gold has like every bad stat you can think of. It has high resistance, it has low mass, it has high mass to SCU ratio, it has really high resistance, it has really low cluster factor. It is an annoying rock to mine. What the You see that? Golly. Call my Atlanta pro. Almost spit my drink out. How many rocks are in this thing? Good Jiminy Christmas. All right.
Shields on.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Yes, I'm feeling good about this. Feeling good about this, everybody. Feels like a good one.
Mining mode on.
Hey, who's crashing the server though? Oh, Grecium.
Off. Mining mode on.
Those are pretty chunky rocks.
Off. Mining mode on.
Rocks look pretty alright.
Mining mode off. Mining mode on. Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
Come on.
Mining mode off. Mining mode off.
Oh my god, not again. Bro. Ah. Are servers under high workload? Is it just the time of day? What if it was me? What if it was me? What if I was the person that was causing the servers to crash? Can you imagine? I think it's workload. Honestly, I think it's workload. I wonder if the servers just have too many people on them, and like it's literally is just a server stress thing. They're just so stressed out. I wonder if that's what it is. Because it's definitely the server, right? Because it keeps respawning me in my tab, and if it was me, it would spawn me back in my mole, which honestly would be more convenient for me at this point. Even if I was just planet side, now I just keep repeating this cycle of spawn, go to my mole, get in my mole, jump to Selin, get to a rock, I'm gonna mine here, crash. And we're just repeating this process on a 15-minute loop? 20, 15, 20-minute loop? I'm gonna give this like one more go. Otherwise, we'll just be here all day repeating this cycle. Interesting. It's a bit surprising. Oh, spawn me back in my mole, baby. Please be client side. Please be client side. Please be client side. Please be client side. You guys are unfamiliar with the issue council testing realm. The terminology is server or client. So server is an issue essentially with the game. The service, the online part of it. Client side means there's an issue with you, your software, your computer, your files. So something about you specifically that is causing you to have an issue, but not necessarily the server itself. And identifying which is which is important when it comes to diagnosing your issues and working around them. So sometimes, typically performance issues like to be client side and delays like to be server side. So when you have an issue interacting with something, that is usually a server side error. But if you crash to desktop, that is typically a client side error. And working around them is the game you play. But once you've optimized yourself, kind of like I have over the time I played this game, you have kind of avoided a lot of client-side issues that you can prevent anyway. And then you're kind of left with all this jazz. You know, everything that happens, you pretty much conclude that, oh, it's server side. I still kind of panic. I still go in and like try to diagnose what the problem is, but a lot of times it's server side. And you have to take the context clues of everything that's happening to try to discern, okay, is what's happening because of me, or is this happening because of something else? Some context clues would be like when you saw me joining the server and you see like 200 people in queue at, well, 2 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, well, that's kind of weird. Typically everybody's already on. Like everyone's just not jumping on at the same time right now, right? So at that point, you're kind of like, okay, why is everyone logging in at the same time? Everyone's logging in at the same time because everyone get kicked out at the same time. So everyone's trying to log back in at the same time. and theoretically everyone's doing the same thing. So it makes me wonder, is there a specific thing someone is doing to start the crash? Or is it just the volume that is causing the crash, right? Is it cause or effect type deal? That's the big money question. So right now I know it's not me. My computer runs fine, although I have had it crash. Like the whole computer crash sometimes, which is really funny, but got gigabyte internet, my upload download speeds are good, my CPU usage is fine, my temperatures are fine. If you guys want to improve your performance in Star Citizen, a really good thing you can do is increase your RAM. A lot of people don't know that Star Citizen RAM is gated by what it is. So Star Citizen is built to not use all of your RAM. And it also caps out, I want to say, it caps out at 52 gigabytes of RAM. And that is if you're running a 68? I think it's 68. If you have 68 gigabyte, wait, 68 or 64? 64. You have 64 gigabytes of RAM. It caps out at, I think, 52, 53 of usage. It won't go any higher than that. But if you have less than that, right, then you are kind of, then it will lower that threshold. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But anything past 64, you won't see any other improvements though. Like I have 128, it's not going to use like 90 gigabytes or something crazy. No, it's only still going to use like the 52, 53 that it had. Okay, all right, well, let's go top off on the old IV. And if we crash again, I think I'm just going to call the stream there.
Attention, emergency staff.
I'm not going to sit you guys watch me go in and out of the mole on loop. If there are any new players in here, if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm hooking myself up to the old IV. Because if you lay in a med bed, it will raise all of your water and food all the way up to max. So if you don't want to, if you carry food and stuff, if you're on like a long thing of missions or something, then it's helpful. But since with mining, you always end up having to come back to the station anyway, it's just a really helpful thing that I don't have to carry stuff with me. I can just, you know what I'm saying, grab what I need to grab and move on.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
All right.
Your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit us.
Old man's old, boy. It's not taking me to pad 4 anymore. I'll take it. That's weird.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Kind of learned the trick to this is usually I'll retrieve it here and I'll wait for this to cycle through till it kicks me out and then use my ships in front of me. But we'll see. Work around, work around, work around. This is riveting. Side note, self-land hangars, Lorville industrial self-land hangars are trash. Worst hangars. because they're the smallest ones. The only reason I spawn in Orison is because Orison hangars are so big. You could park like a prospector off the side of that thing. Okay, maybe not a prospector. It's pretty big. I thought I could fit the mole. I tried, but it's too big. They need to have like a cargo grid sheets that you can place in your hangar so you can lock your furniture and stuff into. That's big brain. They should do that.
Please visit us again.
Oh, it didn't
Goodbye.
work.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval. Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit
There
us
we go.
again.
Price fell. Least exciting hangar. Okay, and now the ship.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Please visit us again. Goodbye. Welcome to the
Whatever.
ASOP vehicle selected. Stand by. Please visit us again. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by.
I love this game. I wonder if this button still works.
This is the best game in the world. Oh man. Hope that worked. Otherwise it sounds stupid. Anytime now.
Visit us again.
Games are a buzzkill sometimes.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
Liar.
Bye. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by.
This is awfully brave of me. And clear moving doors. I'm gonna open up while I'm right on top of it. Wah! I got angry before.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Please visit us again.
I think everybody's
Welcome
having issues.
to the ASOP
Everyone's still
vehicle
standing here.
retrieval system. Please visit us again. Goodbye. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit us again. Goodbye. Vehicle selected. stand by.
Nope, not you either.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Hmm.
Please visit.
All right, gang. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Well, if you guys are interested in some of the mining changes and all the new stuff that came out, please head to the start of the video once it gets published and all that stuff. But like the first 15-20 minutes I spent talking about all the mining changes, some of the commodity changes, and all that stuff that are coming up with Pyro 4.0, the Mold, Prospector, and the Rock, of course. I think the servers are just having issues right now. There's really nothing else I can do. I can't even call a ship. So if I can't call any ship at all, we're kind of just stuck here. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and wait. So appreciate you guys for joining us. We will probably try another stream maybe tonight. Probably tonight. The server's usually a bit better at night. And if it goes poorly, yeah, hey, it goes poorly. But you guys have been amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us and watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.